is Adriana Barnes, and this is my journal entry number 1. I interviewed a couple people, asking them, what does creativity mean to you? And I got back some really interesting answers. So I texted my brother. He's 22 and works in musical theater. He's actually very talented. And he said that creativity is what lets people express who they truly are and what makes them unique. I agree. I feel like you can express yourself through your creativity, and like individuals, creativity does make them unique. I don't know if that made sense, but like an individual's creativity is what makes them unique. Like I feel like I just repeated myself. But yeah, and so then I asked my dad. He is an entrepreneur. He created his own business, Barnes Construction. He's 51, and I think he's pretty creative. He's really silly. He said, it means to think outside the box. Anything is possible. You have to allow yourself to dream of unlimited options. And I agree again, creativity can be infinite, like anything can happen. Unlimited options, which is great. Then I asked my mom. She's also 51, and she's very creative. Her family actually, she's also an entrepreneur. Her family had a business called Girantes Orthopedics, which just closed this year, but it ran for 21 years, which is awesome. I think 25 years, actually. And she said that creativity is showing a unique way of expressing an idea, experience, act, or understanding. My mom is one of the most creative women I know. I knew her answer was going to be amazing because all of her answers are amazing. Anything she says is always full of light, and it's just so unique and wonderful. She does try many things. She expresses herself in many different ways. One time she got braids and extensions and just wore it for a week just because she wanted to see what it would be like. I believe my mom is very creative. She's very unique. And she expresses herself creatively. I then texted a friend of mine a friend's sister, who's also a friend of mine. She's 14 and a freshman in high school. She was actually in her creative writing class when I asked her, and she asked if she wanted me to ask her class. And I said yes, and so she passed around a paper, and her friends filled out what they thought creativity meant to them. And I got, I must say, one of very, very different responses, really interesting responses. I thought it was really good. These kids are aged from 14 to 16, and they chose to be in a creative writing class, which means I think that makes them pretty creative. And so Sophie said it's putting imagination to use. I think that's pretty cool. Being creative is using your imagination, seeing what different possibilities can come out of different things. One student said positivity and happiness. I think that could mean they love being creative and it makes them happy and feel positive because there are so many possibilities. And I also believe that because I love using my creativity. It does make me feel happy because there are unlimited possibilities in anything you can do. Somebody else said imagination and Disney. I thought that was funny. Disney is a very creative company. They have many parks and different things. They're huge. They're everywhere. And they did use their imagination. Imagination is a big part of Disney, having children use their imaginations to believe that they're inside the movies that they watch with all the characters walking around the park, and everything around them. It is like a very beautiful and creative place, which I thought that was pretty cool that they said that. Somebody else said creativity, something that seems to be impossible and making it more than possible and extraordinary! Exclamation point. I thought it was cool. I think they were trying to define it, and maybe they were thinking like you have to use creativity to problem solve, like thinking, oh, like from the very beginning that's impossible, and then making it possible, like making light without the sun. It was impossible, but with creativity you were able to make it possible with electricity. And yeah, I like their response too. Somebody else said engaging. Creativity is very engaging because it's something different. It's thinking outside the box, which is captivating. It's not normal. I like that. And the last person said, it lets me write things that if I say out loud without the context of creativity, it would sound crazy. That one's pretty funny. I think since, they're in a creative writing class, he was thinking about it like writing-wise, and I think that's great, because I agree. Sometimes I'll write things like in my novel, and if I just read an excerpt from my novel out of context, it does sound crazy, but it was creative, and in the context of its creative habitat, it made a lot of sense, and it was really good and captivating. It could even make you cry. But away from all that context, it does sound crazy, but it was creative. It was outside the box. It was something you wouldn't have thought of, or you did think of. Well, I thought of. But it's creative. So all of these answers were really cool. I really liked seeing the different perspectives of creativity in the different ages. Like my parents had more mature definitions, and my brother kind of had more of I guess the millennial aspect of it makes you who you are. I don't know why I said millennial, it could be anybody's aspect, but he defines himself with creativity, I think because he's in musical theater, and what he does is art. He has to be creative anytime he's on stage, and I think that's cool. And then all of the younger people just had completely different cool answers that could be taken into different interpretations. Yeah, I really liked this assignment. It was awesome. And that's all. 8 minutes of me talking. Thanks for watching.